So we got the results of the Arizona audit. Of course, this was huge in Newsmax circles and One American News Network circles and far-right circles. They're still hanging on to this notion that Donald Trump really won the election and we're going to prove it. Well, the 60-plus lawsuits where Trump lost when they tried to say we won this thing, that wasn't enough for you? That didn't tip you off that, in fact, he did lose? Apparently it didn't. So they tried again with this Arizona audit. The results of that came back. I'm going to hold off and show you the results of that after this clip. But here's Trump trying to talk about the results in the middle of a rally. Take note, man. I really do believe that the wind is coming out of his sails a little bit here. He looks visibly tired. His shtick is getting old. He's sort of losing the crowd here a little bit too, and you'll see that when he talks. So let's see how he classified and categorized and portrayed the results, and then what the reality is. Take a look.
Yesterday, we also got the results of the Arizona audit, which were so disgracefully reported by those people right back there, and the headlines claiming that Biden won. That Biden won are fake news and a very big lie. You know, they like to, you ever notice when they write about that, they would say, well, the election results are a big lie. Every reporter, it's just total misinformation. Wow, they're totally unfounded. Everything's unfounded, big lie, not correct. Well, Trump has no reason to say this. I mean, we get piles and piles of information, affidavits by the thousands and thousands. It's a disgrace. We won on the Arizona forensic audit yesterday at a level that you wouldn't believe.
Even I'm astounded at the boldness of this lie. So take a look at the reality. So this is in The Guardian. Arizona Republican audit finds even bigger lead for Biden in 2020 election. Hand count of the 2.1 million ballots cast in Maricopa County found that Biden actually won 360 more votes over Trump than was reported. Here's my question to Donald Trump. What the hell is your end game, bro? What's your end game? What's your end game? It's possible that he's saying these things simply because he has a petty, childish, emotional need to feel like I couldn't lose, I can't lose, I'm too special for that. But it's also possible he's doing some sort of playing political checkers and trying to set himself up for another run, and so he's hanging on to the notion that he won. But what comes out of this? What good comes out of this? You can't just go out there and say we won the Arizona audit when the exact opposite is what really happened. But he does do that, and he just did that. And it's like, where are you going with this, bro? Because I'll tell you guys something. Now, of course, this is anecdotal, so take it with a massive grain of salt. But I know people in my own life. I know people who were big Trump supporters, and really one of the first times that Trump lost these people is even in the wake of the election, when he was trying to say, oh, it's fraudulent, oh, it's not right, oh, it's not real. And they started doing the lawsuits, and Trump lost like almost every single lawsuit on the election, trying to say prove fraud and we actually won and Biden lost. Trump loses all the lawsuits, and a lot of mostly Republican-appointed judges, some Trump-appointed judges were like, you're wrong, you lost. And my Trump supporter relatives were like, yeah, he lost. I don't know what he's doing. So now Biden's been in office for a hot minute, son, and you're still doing this shit? You're still holding on to it? Guys, it doesn't matter how many investigations you have, how many lawsuits you have, how many audits you have. The results are irrelevant. It doesn't matter. They'll hang on to it no matter what, but that number is dwindling more and more and more. So maybe there was a time where a certain percentage were ride or die Trump, he's always right, but that's being whittled down more and more and more. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing? And is this something that could impact him going into the next election if he wants to run? It's very possible. I mean, now what was the number I read? 61% of Republican voters say either Trump shouldn't run or he should be primaried in 2024. So even though now don't get it twisted, I don't want to be misleading here at all. There are certain polls that show the opposite, that Trump is the leading figure on the Republican side by 1.5 miles. So he's still the big daddy. He's still the big dog in the party. He's still the one who's the de facto leader. But having said that, when you have 61% of Republican voters who say either primary him, I don't want him to be the only option, or he shouldn't run at all, the emperor's starting to lose his clothes a little bit, isn't he? And that's my point in covering the story, is like, with a big, bold, brazen lie like this, can he get away with this in the same way that he got away with it back when he was president, where he already had all the power and he already had the aura of invincibility, where the political conventional wisdom was actually Trump can't be beaten and he'll probably win in 2020, back when that was the case? It sort of seems like it's hitting different, doesn't it? Because even the audience there is sort of like, yeah. He's sort of losing the audience as he goes off on this part. And when you lose those people, what do you have left? So I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what his end game is. I don't know if he's just in emotional protection mode or if he's like trying to set himself up and he thinks this will help for 2024. But either way, the arrogance and the boldness of that lie, and he knows it's a lie, that says a lot about the kind of person he is. I mean, really, there's a million things he did that you could call psychopathic. But in terms of, from a psychological perspective, when you look at this is almost the most psychopathic thing. Because the results are incredibly clear. And it's the exact opposite of what he says. And he goes out there and just proclaims, like, no, that's fake news. It's like he's doing some sort of, mass scale psychological research into how much can I make people believe me over their lying eyes. And you know what? I think he's getting more than almost anybody else. He's one of the most successful con men in history. But at the end of the day, with a lie this bold, what percentage of the population are you going to keep with you? 20%? 25%? And I'm being kind by giving those numbers? Is that it? That ain't a winning coalition for an election, dog. But I'm still, and maybe I shouldn't be, maybe I'm naive, but I'm still astounded at the balls for this level of a lie. I mean, this is like next level shit. Oh, final point. I watched this great documentary on this pyramid scheme company called LuLaRoe. The name of the documentary, I think, is Lula Rich. You should really check it out. And I'm sure most of you know how a pyramid scheme works, or a multi-level marketing scam or something like that. Multi-level marketing something. They were able to just fleece, a preposterous number of, in their case, lonely Midwestern housewives. They were these terribly designed leggings that have just way too busy, with just too much going on. But anyway, it really is interesting because it goes into the details of how the pyramid scheme works. And the kind of person Trump is, this shows you something. Did you know Trump actually was involved with pyramid schemes in the past? So he would be the pitch man for a number of these pyramid schemes. That's the kind of person that we're dealing with. That's who he is. And so you see those same instincts coming out here, where maybe he's getting too bold and too confident, and now he's crossed a threshold where he's going to lose most people when you say something like that. Oh, I won the audit. No, you didn't. You lost, and we have the specific numbers as to how much you lost, and you lost more ground because of the audit. But whatever, I won. You're getting lazy, dog. You're getting lazy. I mean, it's like the Trump University scam. People don't talk about that enough. We had a president of the United States who was found guilty of being a fraud, like literally committing fraud. Called it Trump University. You're legally not allowed to call something a university unless it's accredited. And they did classic scam tactics of upselling once you're in there. And he had to pay out millions of dollars because it was a fraud. It was a scam. And nobody talks about that enough. Well, you see those same instincts coming out here. This is just Trump scam stuff from Trump. So anyway, incredible. Incredible. And the media is even getting tired of it because very few in the media covered these comments. They used to be all over this like white on rice if Trump said something that completely contradicted a clear factual statement. They'd be like, oh, look at this. But even they're yawning and getting tired of it. Maybe Trump himself is yawning and getting tired of it, but I don't know, man. The next presidential election is far enough away where any speculation on it is just wasted time.